Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Hello, Buckeye Nation. Jeff Rash here with a very important and exciting announcement. I am standing in front of Gilmer High School, the newest and one of the most state-of-the-art high school facilities in the entire state of Texas. We are so proud of this facility and the work that's gone into it, and we want to show it off. So we are inviting everyone. Rick Albritton is extending his personal invitation, as well as our high school principal, Brian Bowman, and all of the staff here. Want you to come to Gilmer High School this Friday night before the game. So at 4 o'clock all the way to 7 o'clock, they are going to open this facility up for you to be able to come down here and walk through it. Now make sure you're doing social distancing and wearing your masks, but we're going to open the doors and invite the community to come in and look at this state-of-the-art facility. It's going to blow your socks off. It is absolutely amazing. So come a little early before the game, take a walk through the high school, and then you can come right out the door straight into Jeff Traylor Stadium for the district championship game between Pleasant Grove and Gilmer. We hope to see you all on Friday at Gilmer High School. Hello, Buckeye Nation, and welcome to the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. I'm your host, Jeff Rash, and I'm joined today with the head coach and athletic director of the Gilmer Buckeyes.
Yes, sir.
Our special guest every week, of course, Mr. Alan Metzel, and we're also joined today with a very special guest, certainly to me anyway. This is my son, Braden Rash, who just turned 16 and is a sophomore here, and just played his first varsity game, actually, this
Exciting
week.
stuff.
So we decided to bring Braden in here in the mix. So before we get into football, we like to talk about things that are going on in the field house.
Mm-hmm.
We like to talk about things that are going on down here. And you guys know that we're big proponents of taking boys and building them into men. And that's kind of the mission of this place.
That's the whole thing that we're wanting to do. The football is the method that we are using to build men. And so that's what gives us the fire to be up here a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So we're very grateful, and these guys are embracing that. That's what we want.
It is, especially this group this year. It
Absolutely.
Like this group this year, leaders, the seniors,
Mm-hmm.
I hope that these guys, when they're seniors, will do the same thing this group is.
They are.
Because they're really showing a lot of leadership. But this whole team in general just seems to be a really good group of
They are.
young men.
They're really receiving it, and that's what's exciting.
Yeah, as a parent, for those of you that have parents watching this, that have kids down here, you need to understand that your kids are playing a sport and they're having fun, and it's fun for us to watch. But there's a lot more going on down here that's underlying, that's really special. And for those of you that don't have kids in the program, I think it's good for you as the community to know what goes on throughout the school, and that goes for FFA,
It does.
ROTC, band.
Incredible.
I mean,
That's right.
we got some great leadership here. Our extracurricular program is just nearly unmatched in throughout Texas.
Right.
And so this is a special place. But I can make him come do this. I can't make every kid come in here and do this, but I can make this one.
Right.
And so I kind of want we're gonna ask you some of the things that you think from your perspective, from a young man, a sophomore. What kind of things are you learning down here that you think you'll take into adulthood with you?
I'm learning what Coach Metzel preaches us every day after practice. I'm learning how to improve our work. Our work ethic is amazing. I mean, everybody here works off season, during the season. We come here at 7:20 in the morning and we leave at 7 at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really hard program to go through, but it's honestly worth the work.
So do you enjoy getting up that early in the morning and coming to practice, right?
Not at all. I'm late every day.
And part of that, we're trying to teach skills, again, of life. Your boss is not going to want you late.
Yeah.
And so they need to be here on time. They have to call us, text us, let us know. We have certain levels of accountability depending on what level of responsibility they're showing.
Yeah.
So we want that to be something that they carry on.
Yeah. So, you're going to have a job one day, and you're going to have to bring good communication skills, a good attitude, work ethic. If you don't have those things, you're not going to be successful in anything. So work ethic is the first thing. What do you think, what would be number two?
I mean, leadership. I mean, our senior captains this year are really pushing this team through. I mean, 8-1, that's a good record to have. and we fully intend on beating Carthage during the playoffs.
What's something when you talk about the senior leadership? Is there something in particular that they do right now, or they've done to you, where you think, man, that's really helping me get better?
Oh, I mean, they push us to our limit. I mean, like Dylan Fallon, whenever he
Mhm.
texted you, maybe
Mhm.
we're not all ready because not everybody was working their hardest.
Right. Right. They're getting it, which helps you guys see you need to get it.
They're teaching us leadership.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, what else would you, what else are you gaining from this program?
You learn how to work with a team, teamwork.
Mhm.
It's important to work with guys because you'll be doing it in your future. I mean, warehouses, just business associates. I mean, it's how it works in life. It's how you go through life.
One of the things that we always teach, like in the Buckeye Maker, one of the major points is selfless and not selfish. That's always one of the most challenging things. What's an example where you have to think through, okay, I've got to be selfless here instead of selfish?
During Buckeye Maker, you're in pain. I mean, you are winded, you're tired. It's rough, but you have to encourage your teammates to help them get through.
Right. What about playing time? Would that be an example? And, like everybody wants to play all the time. So how do you handle it whenever, like the other night, you got to get in and get in the game. But what do we encourage you to do when you're not in yet?
You want us to encourage our teammates
Exactly.
on the field.
Exactly. They need to hear you, which is being selfless instead of selfish. It promotes that team thing that you're talking about.
You were telling me earlier about, I said, what's one of the main things you've learned down here? And one of the first things you said was toughness.
Toughness.
So
yes.
why is that important for a young man?
As a man, you can't just go through life, kind of wimpy, smaller guy that just doesn't take anything, how do I explain it?
You were telling me that you life's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be times like y'all talked about.
On.
Yeah, you got to take it head on. Like you were talking about practicing in the rain.
Yeah, Wednesday it was 40 degrees when we were practicing in the rain. It was awful.
And your mind says we shouldn't be here.
And we had a good practice that day. We had a good practice.
Well, and something, that's a great example that you bring up, because what I loved was not one kid asked, Coach, are we practicing? Not one. I didn't get one phone call, not one
They
kid
knew you
asked.
were practicing.
They know.
Yeah.
They know. I mean, they just get here. If it's lightning, that's different. We'll adjust. But they know we don't even have to worry about that. If we can go out there and practice, we're practicing.
We're going to practice.
Period.
And they know that.
Yeah.
And that is important to be tough. You got to be mentally tough as well as physically tough. You were talking about being the household leader, man of the house one day. Elaborate on that a little
In
bit.
the Bible, it says that the man is the leader of the house. He's the one that makes the decisions, the one that makes the money. And all of those things that we talked about, work ethic, leadership, teamwork, and just being tough, that helps you become a better man for your family.
I asked you if you'd share your life verse and then translate that to what you learned down here. What's your life verse?
Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So how does that translate down here about not being conformed to the patterns of the world? What's the world doing that you learned down here to do differently?
I mean, we work year-round. Not everybody does that. They just focus on what they're doing right now, or they're sitting on the couch. No, every day, even during the off-season, we're up here 7:20 in the morning still, lifting weights, trying to get better for the next football season. And on Wednesday, we were practicing in the rain.
That's what it's about.
So this is what a Buckeye looks like. This is what one's supposed to look like. So I can't wait to see what you guys do with him. And it starts at home, in the church, in the community.
Right.
It takes a village. And then down here, we're just taking boys like this. And I can't wait to bring him back on camera maybe in a couple of years and see the growth.
Right.
Not just the growth, but the mental.
The maturing process of a man.
Yeah. So let's talk some football, boys.
Okay.
Y'all all right with that?
You bet.
So let's, first of all, a real nail biter on Friday night. So I felt terrible for that team, obviously, being in this district. I feel bad for us being in this district. So I really felt sorry for North Lamar. But by golly, they came out and played, and they played as hard as they could. And so you got to respect that.
You do.
You got to respect that. Those boys stepped up to what they knew was a top 3 or 4 team in the state of Texas, and they showed up and they worked their butts off. They did their best. And so you have to have some respect for that.
Oh, no doubt.
But what are some things that you saw that you were looking for? We always ask this question. What did you see that you liked?
Well, it's easy to go in and have a distracted way of coming into a game whenever you feel like you probably should win and those kind of things. When we got there, we had to adjust our timing on our pregame a little bit. We had to scoot it back. Guys handled that. That's something where that can throw you into a mess right there off the get-go. Just handled it, kept into that mindset of working. We started well. Defense got them off the field. We went down and scored on our first drive. The things that we could control, we took care of.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. And finally, the thing I loved was seeing how the seniors, the juniors, the guys that had been on varsity, how they really were excited for the young guys getting into the game.
They really were. They were on the sidelines yelling for them.
They were all
I'm going to tell you
into
something. This sounds crazy. This was one of the funnest games I've sat through. Grass field.
Yeah.
It was an old school stadium.
Yeah.
We were all like, you felt like you were right on the field. We weren't way back up in a press box somewhere.
Right.
We were like right down there on the field.
Right.
I mean, because there was only like 8 rows of stands.
Right.
And just the whole smell and feel, it was like, and for us, you remember back
That's
when
how we grew up.
It was a novelty for us to play on a turf field.
Oh, yeah.
This was a novelty for these guys to play on grass.
Most of them haven't done it.
Have you ever played on grass before?
In like 4th grade.
That was it.
Yeah.
And so this was it for you. So, it was kind of a novelty. Okay, well, let's talk about football for a second. Let's look at a few plays from the game. First one is one of my one of my favorite players on defense because he's one of the only people on defense shorter than me. But this guy plays like he's 6'6". Jet Jones.
Jet Jones, he doesn't worry about his size. He figures out a way to get it done. Here he is. I'm going to have him circled here, right there. You can see Luke Watson circled on the left. Jet's on the inside. They come on a stunt. Luke gets upfield, which causes the quarterback to have to step up inside, and there's Jet for the tackle. And you can see multiple times we created fumbles, and they called them down. We actually could have had several touchdowns that they didn't allow, but great play by Jet right there.
All right, that was great. And it's not his only. You're going to see another one from him here in a minute.
Yes, sir.
So then you've got Smith, who finally got him a punt return for the year.
He did. Davion got him. Had one a couple of weeks ago, but a penalty wiped it out. So here he is. He picks up the ball after it bounces and then is able to weave his way through the defenders. Good job by guys blocking and other guys holding off to make sure that they don't get a penalty. Good job.
That's one of the hardest things that, when you got a punt return or even sometimes a kick return, but especially on a punt return, it seems like you always get it called back for somebody clipping or blocking in the back or whatever. I mean, they're really looking for that.
They are.
So it shows a lot of restraint.
It does.
Really not to do that. To know, hey, I can get around in front of him. If I'm across the bow, if I'm coming up in here in front of him, I can do this as a block.
Right.
If I come at him from back here, right, that's going to be a penalty. So you got to time that right. Sometimes you have to pull off.
Sometimes you got to pull
even
off.
though he's right there, maybe potentially going to make the tackle.
That's exactly right.
You'd rather let your guy try to dodge him than for you to have it called back.
Oh, no doubt. Right? We'd rather let the athlete make the play.
So this next one is Jet Jones as well.
Yes, Jet gets down in between the guard and the center. Now, normally he doesn't line up here. And this is a little side thing here that Coach Edwards was telling me about. Normally he plays out wider, and he had come on a block route earlier, and they doubled him. And so when they talked on the sideline about what they did to stop him, Coach Edwards kind of switched some people around and said, okay, line up between the center and the guard and go block it. Well, he did. So here he was on the fly, catching that, getting that information. You can see him right beside the center. There he is. And then watch him slide through here, avoid, and get the block and the fumble recovery.
And the recovery,
yeah.
Which is hard to do.
That's hard to do. There he is right down there by the end zone.
So great job there by Jet once again. So the next one is going to be Smith again. This is another touchdown he had. Nice run.
Exactly. This is Davion Smith. I'm going to get the wide angle here. We get him the ball on an outside zone look. He gets to the edge. Great job by the fullback kicking out on the linebacker, and then it's him in open field. You can take a look here. You see Jarrett Ritter, our center, all the way downfield, hustling all the way down, see if he could help out. Great job, great run. Yeah,
that's good stuff. Now I don't think they had the same number of sacks they had last week against LE because they had 9.
Correct.
But they did have several in this game. This is another sack. This was Hernandez and Burton on the sack here.
Running down. Now, Braden, kind of talk us through what Jose would do here as you see this play. You see Jose's in in the circle there. You're going to see the quarterback roll out, and then here comes Jose. So what would you be looking for right here? What's your job?
Middle, is that jag?
That is. It is.
A middle linebacker, whenever he pulls out,
Mhm.
first you drop off, then you push right into him to give him pressure.
Very good. So you're looking to be the contain and make the play. And that's what Jose does here. So you can see Matt running down from behind. Great effort. Long way from the backside. He gets pressure, and then Jose's there to clean up and get the sack.
Yeah, does a great job there. And this next one was, we had a lot of, you pulled up how many, 15, JV?
We did. Now, this is Will Blakely.
Now, this
and
is,
he's on the
he's
varsity.
a senior this year. Yeah.
He's a junior. He's a junior. That's all right. And Will's really ascending. He's getting to where he's gaining more and more playing time. And so we run a screen to him down inside the red zone. He makes a good catch. Parker Gilo, good job putting the ball on him. You see the lineman creating the wall.
Nice wall.
Exactly. And Will's in untouched for a touchdown. So that great job there.
He had several good plays,
He
actually,
did.
the night Will did.
He really
I noticed
did.
that. We called his name several times.
Uh-huh.
Played, I thought, very well.
Played well
Now,
at corner and at receiver.
this next play is going to be, that we're going to watch, is going to be one of my favorite players. He's Braden's age. He's a sophomore.
Mhm.
And he and Braden are both running backs
Right.
on the JV together.
Mhm.
This guy, I've said this several times, in most other programs that didn't have like 5 ridiculously talented running backs like we have right now, I mean,
Right.
it's crazy, right?
It is. It is.
This kid, as a sophomore, would be starting on most teams on
I
varsity
agree.
as a running back.
I
He
agree.
is special.
He is.
He's a lot like Rowan Fluellen, who's
Mhm.
also in their grade.
Mhm.
That just is fluid. He just
Right.
has a knack for getting, he weaves through the defense,
Mhm. Makes it
He's
look easy.
fun to watch. And this is Ashton Haynes. This is one of your buddies. You always talk about what a great guy he is,
He
too,
is.
right?
Great
kid.
young man. He really is.
He can run the ball.
He can. He's a name you're going to want to learn.
Yeah.
Because he'll be making plays for the next several years. And we're running another outside zone play. He gets to the edge, and you just got to give him a crease. He has a 55-yard run here. They barely push him out of bounds right there.
And he's a north and south runner,
He
which
is.
is what I like about him. He's
He-
not one of these that stop and
He doesn't lose yards.
He's going to keep moving in
That's
the
right.
right direction. So
That's right.
he's a good runner. Now this next one right here is somebody that we know rather well.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is Braden. We decided
Braden.
to pop Braden's first play at
On the varsity.
on the varsity.
Right.
And so I made the announcement the other day. Some of my friends were picking on me during the broadcast because I said, "Okay, this is my son." We zoomed in on him. I said, "His first play at varsity. I hope he doesn't bring shame to his family."
Right. He
And
did.
this was his very first play at varsity, right here.
Fantastic job. Watch his effort as he's getting down the field. I'm happy to brag on him on this one. Here he comes. Great speed down the field, makes contact, keeps in his lane, and then is a huge part of making this tackle right there. Great first play.
Yeah, not a bad one.
That's right.
Yeah, all the rest of them stunt, but I thought that first one was pretty good. I'm just kidding. You did fine.
Oh, fantastic.
So
job.
now the big news. All
Mhm.
right, we're playing. This is how we've scripted this at the
It
beginning
is.
of the year.
It is.
We scripted it this way, and here we are. We're going to be playing against Pleasant Grove for the district championship right outside this window right here in
Jeff
Buckeye
Traylor
Stadium.
Stadium.
Jeff
You
Traylor
bet.
Stadium. So what are we looking at?
Looking at a great challenge, looking at what we've worked for all year, as you mentioned. Our guys have built what we're trying to attain through the first 9 weeks of the year, and now it's time to play them.
Yeah.
It's time to play them.
Are you ready?
We're ready. We're ready.
Feel good? Brandon, y'all think you're ready?
More than ready.
That's good. The guys, obviously, they're struggling with some injuries on their side of the
They
ball.
are. They are.
We've got
We're
some
having
on
to
our
overcome
side of the
some.
ball.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty evenly matched team. Would you
It is.
agree?
It is.
And there's a lot of talent on both sides of the field, a lot of size, a lot of skill,
No doubt.
and two very well coached football teams.
They're-
I mean,
they're
they are
very-
well coached.
They are. Josh Gibson and his staff, they've done a tremendous job in the program that they've built, not just the records, but they've built a program.
They
you
have
know, and
full
so
tilt.
They have, and they've done a great job. They've been to the state championships the last 3 years,
Yeah.
winning 2 of them. So, they know how to win. They know how to be a championship program.
Yeah.
And we're ready to go match with them. We're going to do it.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I know you are too.
I am.
It's going to be a long week for you. A lot of
Lot of
hours,
work.
a lot of
Lot
work,
of work.
and the boys are ready.
You bet.
And so, Buckeye Nation, we need you guys to show up in a big way, either whether you're here in the stadium watching the game or yelling for the Buckeyes in your living room. Get your popcorn and your soda pop ready because this is going to be if you like football, this is going to be a great football game. I'm telling you. So it's going to be a big week. Not only for our country, as the election is on Tuesday, but Friday it's going to be a big week for the Buckeye fans. So hopefully we're going to come out with a district trophy at the end of it. But either way, no matter how that game goes, Buckeyes are in the playoffs.
We're in the playoffs.
So you've got six games, 5 to state, and you've got some adversity we talked about earlier to get there.
To overcome. That's right. That's part of it. You're exactly right.
Because we could, if we make it through the first 3 rounds, we could see PG in the 4th round.
PG 4th round probably, and then good chance there'd be Carthage in the state championship.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. I'd love to have that shot at him.
We'd
Braden, thank you, son, for joining us today. Appreciate you joining us here, and I want to thank you too, Coach Metzel, for your time today. And Buckeye Nation, make sure you come out in droves on Friday night and yell. Bring noisemakers, stand, yell. And let's cheer on the Buckeyes to a district championship. So good luck, Coach.
Thanks.
And we'll see you guys on Friday night.
See you guys.